So a French watch brand other than Cartier and Breguet that's also affordable? Yes, please. What's up guys, it's your boy Rich here with Sartory Billard SB02. You could say it's a watch with multiple personalities. Let's go take a closer look. Let's go. And here is Sartory Billard's SB02. But so is this one, and this one, and this one. And that's because they have these really cool and interchangeable accessories that give these watches an immediate facelift. And if we're thinking these accessories are made of some cheap plastic, we would be wrong. So here is their matte steel version in genuine 316L steel, and the cost of this plating is $30, while their ceramic versions cost $51. And they have a lot of these different colors and materials as well. That gives these watches a really cool look in high quality materials. And they come with this tool that is used to simply screw and unscrew the plating from our case. And they come in a really impressive presentation. The SB02 is in a wonderful 39 millimeters, 46 millimeters from lug to lug, 12 millimeters tall, and with a 20 millimeter lug width. And the first thing that caught my attention about this watch is the dial. Well, that and it's French made. But this dial has these multi-layers to it. But the biggest attraction to the dial is that date wheel that goes around the indices. And as the date reaches the date window at 3 o'clock, it seems to be a little larger than the numbers around the date wheel. I think it might be magnified to maybe 1.5 times. It does seem noticeable that the date in the date window is slightly larger than on the date wheel. It's just a really cool and attractive date mechanism, I guess. And they have these cutouts on the dial where we can see part of the movement. And it's just a really attractive anthracite colored dial, nice applied indices, a nice chapter ring, and another really fun part or touch, I guess, is their branding. You see at 6 o'clock where it says Sartory Billard and the model SB02, that branding is not actually on the dial, and that's because it is engraved on the inner portion of the sapphire crystal, sort of giving it this 3D and floating effect. A really nice touch with what they did with the branding. This is just a very attractive dial. The side of the case, which is not interchangeable, is done in a nice brushed finishing. And there is their signed crown with their logo. And if we turn the watch over, we see a genuine leather strap with the quick release system. So what that means is all we need to do is pull these pins in and out to change the strap. So no tools are required. So we're seeing a really nice solid case back with what looks like a globe. And it is nice and deep. So Sartory Billard did a nice job making that globe on the case back really attractive. But because it is a solid case back, what is the movement that is powering the SB02? Well, they used the Miyota automatic 8215 movement, which is a fine movement. I own a few watches with that movement, and they've always been reliable. However, if there is one flaw to that movement, is that it does not hack. And what that means is when we're changing the time, we won't be able to adjust the time precisely to the second. And that's because we can't control the seconds hand. The seconds hand does not stop. So let me show you what I mean for those of you who are a little newer here. So I pull the crown out and I'm setting the hour and the minute hand. I'm doing that right now. But we can see the seconds hand still moving. I can't control that. It just does not stop. So if I want to set the time precisely to say 3 o'clock in 0 seconds, I won't be able to do that. I wouldn't call that a flaw, maybe a personal preference, because for me, I don't usually set the time precisely. But do I prefer a watch that does allow hacking? Yes, of course. And I do know there are people who that is important for, and I can understand that being a problem. So let me show you another portion of the dial, and that's the date wheel, which is one of the things that attracted me. We can see it rotating and doing its thing. Just a really attractive, a very attractive layout. So I can't really find any flaws to this watch because it is really well made and well designed. This is just a very attractive watch with its unique, it just has a lot of uniqueness to its case shape, to that really attractive multi-layered dial, to the color scheme. It's just a really well put together, well made French watch. I think this is a nice time for some wrist shots. Mickey will keep you company, and I'll be right back. Oh. The price of the SB02 is $650, and for that, we are getting a really nicely made French watch that is really well designed and well executed and well made, and it also offers a lot of different color options and uses really rich materials and in 39 millimeters. And we're back with some final thoughts on Sartory Billard and the SB02. You know, I think it's really terrific that we've been seeing some great watches coming from different origins other than made in Switzerland, made in Japan, or even Germany. I mean, in the past recent years, we've been getting a lot of quality UK watches that have thrown their hats in the ring. I mean, we've been seeing some great British-made watches. And now we're finally seeing a really nice watch made in France. And I think whenever we associate any French-made product or made in France, we automatically associate those products as quality luxury items. Ooh la la. Whether they are coffee or wine or cheese or food or fashion, anything that's associated with France, we automatically give it a luxury nod in our head. And I don't think it hurt to have such earlier brands as Cartier and Breguet with their DNA as being French-made watches. And a really quick story, my first car in high school was a used Renault Fuego, and I thought that car really did its job. It really never let me down, so I enjoyed my first French experience, which happened to be a car. And while Sartory Billard may not be Breguet, they are a solid representation of the kind of product we expect from a French-made watch. And I think having that Paris-made on a dial is very similar to having that Swiss-made label because it automatically elevates it to a certain luxury status. And I think these watches offer a lot of uniqueness and are a really finely made French timepiece. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you the next time. And I just think that name, Sartory Billard, is a really cool... I'm not the biggest fan of French food. No, that's not actually true. I like chocolate mousse. And we're here with Sartory Billard's SB Super Bowl... No. Well, actually, the Super Bowl 53, who do you got? I got the Pats. I can't go against Brady.